This is a world where you can observe stars, obtain star soul power, and gather various powerful cards. Jiang Zhao, who is a fan of astronomy and astrology, traveled here and discovered that all the familiar celestial phenomena were there. So, in the ceremony of obtaining the card of his own destiny, Jiang Zhao decisively lit up the Pleiades Rooster, one of the 20.8 constellations, based on his own destiny star, Pleiades Six. From then on, we embarked on a path of card makers with the Pleiades chicken as the starting point and the goal directly pointing towards Siwiyun. Hey, in a previous life, the soul also had a life star, so the second life card, Scorpio, was born. What kind of dark and eerie domain toxins and ferocious beasts, aren't they all a bunch of spicy strips? The god of machinery, right? I heard your body is very hard. The beast god of the elf world, right? Do you dare to compare and contrast with my four divine beasts? Where did you come from? Look at my star-soul fusion technique, 28 constellations. Another move is the star-soul fusion technique, 12 palaces of the yellow path. What? Do you want to invite Pegasus out of the mountain? Sorry, that kid has been a bit busy lately. Young man, do you want to join the Xingqiu sect or the Zodiac sect? Keywords of the novel. Starry Card Maker. Starting from the Pleiades Star Official without pop-ups, Starry Card Maker. Starting from the Pleiades Star Official. Download the complete text. Starry Card Maker. Starting from the Pleiades Star Official. Read the latest chapter. Chapter 1. Stargazing Ceremony, Blessing by Star Officials. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 Stargazing Ceremony, Blessing by Star Officials. Summer afternoon. The bright sun shines through the French window onto a pair of young men and women in the coffee shop. What zodiac sign are you? The little sister showed a hint of politeness in her reserved demeanor. Jiang Zhao instinctively blurted out, Scorpio. Blind dates, zodiac signs are indeed a good way to open up topics. As a seasoned astronomy and astrology enthusiast, this topic can be said to hit his heart. I was about to showcase my knowledge of astronomy and astrology to my little sister, but suddenly my attitude changed drastically. The scumbag zodiac sign were not suitable. The kind of person who finishes speaking, picks up their bag, gets up, and leaves without looking back. Is this okay? Jiang Zhaomeng was puzzled for a long time, and it was obvious that the zodiac signs in his eyes were completely different from those in Mrs. eyes. A few waiters saw everything in their eyes, covered their mouths, chuckled and whispered. Jiang Zhao could only awkwardly smile and signal the waiter to pay the bill. At the moment of leaving the coffee shop, the sky suddenly shrouded in dark clouds, and the bustling streets of the city center were in turmoil. Passengers were in groups of 3 or 5, pointing at the dark sky. In the sky, a fireball dragging its tail is cutting through the sky. Lying trough, meteorite. Jiang Zhao's eyes lit up and he took out his phone to record this rare moment, only sighing that his professional equipment was not around. Star Soul World. Jiang Zhao lay on the balcony, staring absent-mindedly at the starry sky. It has been 18 years since I was reincarnated into this world, and the scene of that meteorite falling back then is still vivid in my mind. Who would have thought that the power of that meteorite would be so terrifying? Fortunately, in this lifetime, he is no longer a Scorpio, but a high school graduate of Taurus. However, it seems that there is no concept of the 12 constellations in this world. Although the star soul masters in this world also observe the starry sky, they are completely different from the astronomy and astrology on the blue star side in their previous lives. Star soul masters connect different stars by observing and sensing the starry sky, condensing them into star soul cards to fight for themselves and resist the strange forces invading from deep in the starry sky. Tomorrow is the day for Jiang Zhao's first stargazing ceremony after graduating from high school. Only by condensing an excellent star soul card can one become a star soul master and a human being, otherwise they can only become an unknown screw at the bottom of society. In this lifetime, he received education on astrology from a young age and is full of expectations for tomorrow's stargazing ceremony. I hope it can be as I thought. Jiang Zhao's eyes flickered with a hint of anticipation and unease. Over the years, he has been observing the starry sky of this world, and can still vaguely observe some of the celestial phenomena from his past life memories. Stinky kid, hurry up and rest. Tomorrow is the stargazing ceremony, we need to nourish our spirits. The urging sound of my mother came from inside the house. Got it. Jiang Zhao obediently returned to his room and fell asleep in the reproachful eyes of his mother. In this life, he comes from a single-parent family, and his mother Jiang Xinmei is a hard-working ordinary star soul master. She has a cake-shaped original star soul card, and although she doesn't have much combat or auxiliary ability, she can help her make delicious cakes. Taking advantage of the advantages of cake star soul, operating a cake shop has a decent income, with less than enough compared to more than enough. At least much better than ordinary people who have no star souls at all. Therefore, strictly speaking, Jiang Zhao is also a person with the bloodline of Star Soul Master, but this bloodline does not have much significance. Those true second-generation stars not only possess excellent soul power cultivation qualifications, but also have a family tradition in the field of star maps. The next morning, my mother called out to him to wake up on time. Jiang Zhao quickly got up, prepared his documents, and rushed out of the room with enthusiasm. What's the rush? Jiang Xinmei shouted at him angrily and handed him a delicate small cake adorned with starry sky patterns. This is a carefully crafted star-watching cake made by Mom for you. Eating it will bring you good luck. Thank you, Mom. Although Jiang Zhao resisted somewhat, he still accepted his mother's intention. Just like children growing up in fruit shops who don't like to eat fruits, Jiang Zhao had already vomited on cakes at the age of 7 or 8. Oh, by the way, this is for Yun Yun. Speaking, my mother brought another exquisite blessing cake. Both in shape and size, it is much better than his piece. Mom, I'm starting to doubt our mother-son relationship. Jiang Zhao couldn't help but laugh and cry at this. Do you have any objections? Jiang Xinmei snorted and said, that girl from Yun Yun is a loyal customer of our cake shop. To put it bluntly, at least 1/3 of your child is raised by Yun Yun. Okay, you've said this many times. Jiang Zhao shook his head helplessly, silently packed 2 cakes, and strode away. Take the bus to reach the first high school in Fanqing City, the best high school in the city. Back then, Jiang Zhao was able to enter here thanks to his mother's half-goddaughter and the loyal customer of the cake shop, the god of wealth, Wan Yunyun. On the playground, the annual graduation stargazing ceremony has been prepared, and young boys and girls who are about to graduate have arrived one after another, their eyes shining with anticipation and anxiety for the future. Jiang Zhao, here. From a distance, I could see a beautiful girl in a white dress waving at him, lively and cheerful, full of youth. Jiang Zhao walked towards the girl with a smile and offered the cake. Oh, my mom prepared it for you. Hee, thank auntie for me. Wan Yunyun excitedly took the cake and enjoyed it to her heart's content, her eyes full of happiness. It's truly Auntie Jiang, eat well. Jiang Zhao was silently speechless. It has been so many years, and this girl is not tired of it. Then he silently opened his own cake and served it as breakfast for today. Don't say, the taste is really different from usual. Is that the stargazing platform? Jiang Zhao was enjoying the cake in his hand while curiously observing the crowded high platform on the playground. Yes, Wan Yunyun shook her little brain happily under the delicious nourishment, and it is the highest standard stargazing platform, and the testers are all senior star soul masters from the Star Soul Association. Jiang Zhao nodded and could only say that the treatment of provincial key high schools is different. In my impression, Wan Yunyun's father seems to be a member of the Star Soul Master Association. He can easily put an unrelated person into the enrollment list of the first high school in Fancheng City, and his position is definitely not low. After a moment, all the graduates were in their positions and the stargazing ceremony officially began. The Star Soul Master in charge of stargazing is a handsome man in his 30s, dressed in the robe of the Star Soul Master Association. He sequentially names the students to come up to the stage for stargazing, while an assistant is responsible for recording student information. The principal and school leaders are eagerly anticipating. Quickly, the first student nervously took the stage and observed the stars under the guidance of the Star Soul Master. The students in the audience whispered and were curious. Baifeng's grades have always been very good, so he should be able to sense and condense a powerful Star Soul card, right? Definitely not. What's the use of having good grades? Without a family school inheritance, relying solely on the basic star map knowledge taught in school, being able to sense a usable Star Soul card is considered good. An disharmonious sneer came from the crowd, and after speaking, he couldn't forget to cast a contemptuous glance at Jiang Zhao. This person's name is Luo Changfeng, a classmate of Jiang Zhao and Wan Yunyun. The children of the Luo family in Fancheng City, a typical second-generation aristocratic family, have always looked down upon Jiang Zhao as a humble disciple, due to their innate qualities of being a master. Jiang Zhao was not moved by this at all. People who have been in their 40s for 2 lifetimes would naturally not have the same view as such little brats. But from a certain perspective, what Luo Changfeng said is also true. The profession of Star Soul Master is too reliant on knowledge of star charts. The vast expanse of stars in the sky makes it difficult for those without a family tradition to know the connections between different stars, as well as what kind of star souls can be formed when those stars are connected together. To put it simply, the first stargazing ceremony for children from humble families is purely based on spirituality and luck. Accompanied by a splash of starlight scattered over the stargazing platform, Baifeng opened his eyes in a fluster and confusion, and a crystal card with a deep night sky color slowly condensed before his eyes. On the front, there is a star-shaped pattern that he senses and connects, while on the back, there is a unique star-shaped gemstone embedded. Only one star. The Star Soul Master in charge of the ceremony glanced at the principal. Principal Huang, it seems like we have some difficulty starting this year. The principal and school leaders felt embarrassed. Baifeng looked dejected, but as usual, he summoned his first star soul. A silly little leopard. Is it a summoning card in the form of a leopard? That's barely usable. The Star Soul Master in charge of the ceremony nodded calmly and turned to start naming the next tester. The students were not stupid either. The result was obviously the same as what Luo Changfeng said, and the mood of many poor children fell sharply. As I've said, even good grades are useless. Garbage is destined to be garbage from the beginning. Luo Changfeng proudly enjoyed everyone's gaze and glanced at Jiang Zhao. Subsequently, a group of famous students took to the stage one after another, and the stargazing results were either 1.5 stars, with many directly failing. Only those second-generation stars with a bit of family tradition have condensed 2-star soul cards. Next, Jiang Zhao. The central soul power has 3 levels. Luo Changfeng immediately cast a mocking gaze and said, "It's time for Jiang Zhao. I have a family secret star map here. Do you want to see it?" Jiang Zhao gave him a look of, "What kind of thing?" and calmly walked up to the stargazing platform. "I don't know for sure." Luo Changfeng didn't get angry either. He continued to maintain a proud posture and turned to look at Wan Yunyun with interest. "Wan Yunyun, what level of star soul card do you think he can condense?" "It's none of your business." Wan Yunyun didn't even bother to take a glance at him. Luo Changfeng frowned inwardly. To be honest, he had never understood why Wan Yunyun was so close to such a lowly person as Jiang Zhao. In theory, he and Wan Yunyun are the same type of person. Standing in the center of the stargazing platform, use your soul power and spiritual power to observe and sense the starry sky through the stargazing mirror. Wishing you good luck, said the star soul master in charge of the ceremony, with a hint of disappointment and numbness in his voice. After all, so far there hasn't been a star soul card that catches his eye. Jiang Zhao nodded slightly, turned around and stood in the center of the stargazing platform, slowly closing his eyes. Injecting soul and spiritual power into the uniquely shaped stargazing mirror, a brilliant and vast, clear starry sky appeared in his mind. Well behaved, so awesome. This observation effect is much better than his astronomical telescopes. The whole person seems to be immersed in the starry sky, and with a slight movement of mind, one can freely roam in the endless starry sky. On. 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 All on. Jiang Zhao kept searching for the figures he had remembered in astrology, and almost all the stars were there, even their positions were almost identical. What a mysterious feeling, it seems that every star has a subtle connection with the soul. Then he searched for the most sensitive star among the endless stars, and finally stopped in a familiar star field. The most shining and strongly sensed among them is his own destiny star, which only appears during the first stargazing. With the power of this destiny star, you can gather a star soul card for free without spending any materials. Pleiades 6. Are you really a Taurus? No, Pleiades 6 also belongs to the Pleiades of the 28 constellations. After hesitating for a long time, Jiang Zhao decided to start with the Pleiades Rooster. After all, in his impression, the big rooster in Journey to the West was still very fierce. Take a deep breath and use the power of the Destiny Star to light up the other 6 stars in the Pleiades with soul power in sequence. Its name is Pleiades Chicken. With Jiang Zhao's inner shout, the 7 Pleiades instantly connected together, draining their soul and spiritual power. At the same time, a majestic voice rang out in Jiang Zhao's mind. The Pleiades returned to their throne, blessed by the star official. Jiang Zhao felt a wave of dizziness, and in the void of spiritual consciousness, 7 stars lit up, feeling extremely mysterious. Open your eyes. The whole room was filled with exclamations of surprise, as a brilliant starlight descended from the sky and projected onto Jiang Zhao, condensing into a star soul card that fell into his hands. On the front, there are 7 familiar star patterns shining, with 13 dark stars as a backdrop. On the back, there are 2 star-shaped gemstones and a dim star-shaped gemstone. Experience the 7 stars in the sea of consciousness, and the detailed information of this star soul card comes to mind clearly. Pleiades Official, Type. Summoning Card Race. Star Official, Immortal, Genre. Chunyang Grade. Divinity. 75 Talent Skill. Siken Tixiao Soul Fit. 50%, this life star soul card comes with 50% soul fit. From this moment on, Jiang Zhao realized clearly that he would become a prestigious star-based card maker. New book upload, please advise more, end of this chapter. Chapter 2. Star Card Maker. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Star Card Maker. In this world, there exists a special group called astrological card makers. They observe the starry sky, summarize different characteristics of the stars, give them different meanings, and combine various characteristic materials to create various wonderful star soul cards. Jiang Zhao, carrying the brilliant culture of his past life, is destined to bring a new wave to this world. This can be seen from the reactions of the crowd present. 2.5 stars. The star soul master in charge of the ceremony's eyes lit up suddenly. The principal and school leaders got excited and overjoyed. What a pure and intense starlight. Jiang Zhao, this child is fine. I remember this child comes from an average family background and doesn't have much background, right? A noble son from a humble family, rare. The students in the audience were even more stunned, and countless underprivileged children were full of envy, bringing up hope again. Only Luo Changfeng's expression was stiff. How about Luo Changfeng? Are you surprised or not? Ruan Yunyan sneered. Humph. It's just dog poop luck. Luo Changfeng sneered, that star pattern doesn't seem like a serious star at first glance. Whether it has any cultivation value or not is a matter of debate. Ruan Yunyan sneered, too lazy to talk to Luo Changfeng. On the stargazing platform, Jiang Zhao took a deep breath and, amidst the attention of the audience, activated the Star Soul card in his hand. I saw a dazzling golden light blooming from the Star Soul card, and then, bathed in the golden radiance, a loud rooster crowing pierced through the clouds, dispelling the impurities in the air, as if the whole world had become a bit clearer. Immediately after, a tall figure stretched out from the golden light, transforming into a silhouette of a figure hidden in the golden light. In an instant, the whole scene was in an uproar, all of whom were shocked by the magnificent battle. Having Divinity. The Star Soul Master in charge of the ceremony was greatly surprised. The assistant beside him couldn't help but nod solemnly, and the initial Divinity is not low, this card. Not simple. The golden light slowly converged and dissipated, presenting a figure shrouded in divine light in front of everyone. That was a divine martial man with a red feather crown on his head and a red rosy robe. His phoenix eyes were shining, his face was thin but still heroic, and his nose, like an eagle hook, exuded a fierce temperament. With a height of nearly 2 meters, he floated beside Jiang Zhao out of thin air, with a star-shaped array resembling Buddha's light suspended in an upward position behind him. Several flickering light dots in the center of the array connected to form a line, outlining the same star-shaped pattern on the card surface. Oh my God, what kind of star soul is that? So handsome, what a cool look. What a powerful aura and pressure, it's like a deity, making people unconsciously want to worship. While the crowd below exclaimed in disgust, Luo Changfeng's face stiffened once again. Because anyone with a bit of brain can see that this star soul is definitely not bad, even a bit strong. Damn it, I really had bad luck. On the stargazing platform, Jiang Zhao lost consciousness for a moment and silently put away the Pleiades star official. Jiang Zhao, right. The Star Soul Master in charge of the ceremony walked over eagerly. I am Gao Qi, a senior Star Soul Master from the Star Soul Master Association. If nothing unexpected happens, we will have further opportunities to interact in the future. Come on. Jiang Zhao smiled awkwardly and politely. Your Destiny Star Soul card is very special. If you are willing to contribute your astrological ideas to the association, you can receive a generous reward. Gao Qi said meaningfully, of course, you can also choose to refuse, this is your right. Jiang Zhao certainly cannot casually share it. Just as he was about to refuse, Ruan Yunyan had already stepped onto the stage and said, all right, Uncle Gao, it's my turn, right? Okay. Gao Qi was taken aback for a moment, then suddenly smiled. Next up, Ruan Yunyan, the 4th level of Central Soul Power. Jiang Zhao silently stepped down and returned to his original position upon seeing the situation. It seems that he guessed correctly. Ruan Yunyan's father is indeed a member of the Star Soul Master Association. And Ruan Yunyan's first stargazing result did not disappoint, accompanied by a ray of starlight, ultimately condensing into a 3-star quality Star Soul card. After stimulation, it transformed into a large mechanical glove and was worn on Ruan Yunyan's right arm, which was extremely out of sync with her smaller body's artistic style. Is it a mechanical tool card? Jiang Zhao pondered. There are many types of Star Soul cards in this world, among which summoning cards are the most common. In addition, there are tool cards, item cards, skill cards, realm cards, secret realm cards, function cards, and so on. Mom's birthday cake card is a typical item card. It's just that the mechanical type surprised Jiang Zhao a bit. Ruan Yunyan's choice of a mechanical type Star Soul card as her own Destiny Star Soul card indicates that her family has a mechanical system of star chart inheritance. On the side, Luo Changfeng had an expected expression, clearly having some understanding of Ruan Yunyun's background. Hehe, I thought it would be at most 2.5 stars, but I didn't expect it to condense into a 3-star robotic arm. Ruan Yunyun walked happily down the stargazing platform, overjoyed. Congratulations. Jiang Zhao smiled and congratulated. Same joy, it shows that Aunt Zhang's blessing cake is still effective. Ruan Yunyun joked. Then, 2 more students climbed onto the stargazing platform, and the results were average. The next one is finally Luo Changfeng's turn. Open your eyes and be careful, what is the truly powerful star soul card? Luo Changfeng arrogantly glanced at Jiang Zhao's side, then looked around the crowd and strode up to the stargazing platform. After a brief stargazing, a ray of starlight shone down and condensed into a 3-star soul card, causing the students in the audience to exclaim in envy. Luo Changfeng's life card is also a summoning card. When activated, the entire stargazing platform is instantly shrouded in a black mist. A giant centipede, all pitch black and 3 meters long, appeared faintly in the black mist, emitting a terrifying aura. Even Gao Qi on the side couldn't help but secretly marvel. Sai, the ghost centipede from the Luo family in the Starry City, is truly worthy of its reputation. And initially, it was Samsung's quality, and future achievements will not be much worse than those of the current Luo family leader. Unfortunately, they are descendants of a noble family and will not stay in the association after all. On the side of the principal and school leaders, they can finally straighten their backs and raise their eyebrows. The reason why Luo Changfeng was admitted to the school was for this moment. 2 3 stars, plus 1.5 stars, and 2.5 stars, the status of a key high school has stabilized like an old dog, and the funding from next year is already waving to him. The students in the audience exclaimed and discussed, with emotions of envy, despair, unwillingness, and frustration intertwined. Is that the ghost centipede of the Luo family? It's so scary. I feel like my little mouse doesn't even have enough space between its teeth. Is this the difference between aristocratic families and ordinary families? What if there is a big gap? The future is still long, and it's not certain who will go further. The students comforted themselves verbally, but they were very clear in their hearts. One step slow. The only thing they can do is to climb as high as possible, giving future generations a higher starting point. Isn't it just a big centipede? What's your aura? Ruan Yunyun sneered at this and said, once I gather all my mechanical sets, I can easily smash it into pieces. Jiang Zhao looked at Luo Changfeng on the stargazing platform, who was showing off his strength and secretly provoking him, and felt extremely comical. Others may fear the big centipede, but he is not at all vain. Just kidding, isn't a mere centipede restrained to death by my chicken brother? Bah! Chicken master. Do you know what blood pressure is? Do you know the gold content of the first great rooster that was born in heaven and earth? Even if it's half a star higher, for Mr. Chicken Immortal, it's just a spicy stick. By the way, their Luo family's star chart inheritance is not all of this kind of thing, is it? Jiang Zhao asked curiously. Almost, Ruan Yunyun replied, they are all scorpions, centipedes, snakes, mice, insects, ants, and so on, quite underworld-like. Jiang Zhao's face showed a strange expression. He restrained the entire family to death. This villain is not very good. Of course, when it comes to making trouble, the family's background and strength are still very strong. No matter how strong the star soul card is, it must rely on soul power to support it. The older generation of star soul masters from the Luo family, just soul power alone, is not something he can handle now. However, speaking of which, what is the condensing idea of your star soul card? It feels so peculiar, Ruan Yunyun asked curiously. It's nothing, just randomly connecting a few stars around the star of one's own destiny, and then inexplicably associating it with the image of a big rooster, and then it all converged successfully, Jiang Zhao said with his eyes open. Big rooster. Wang Yunyan asked in confusion, isn't it humanoid? Strictly speaking, he should be a big rooster in the shape of a human. Didn't you notice that his appearance and attire resemble a rooster very much? It seems a bit. During the chat, Luo Changfeng had already walked over angrily, although I don't know what kind of bad luck you have had, in front of me, you will always be just trash. Luo Changfeng, you're not finished, are you? Wang Yunyan inexplicably said, do you believe me, miss, that one punch will fly at you? Wang Yunyan, I advise you not to get too close to these garbage, so as not to lose your identity. Luo Changfeng was not angry at all, but proudly turned around and prepared to leave. You and I are destined to enter the sharp knife class, so he may not be certain. It's really. Wang Yunyan couldn't roast. Jiang Zhao smiled indifferently and turned to a serious question, do you think I have a chance to enter the sharp knife class? Don't listen to those surnamed Luo's nonsense, he knows nothing. Wang Yunyan sneered, believe me, you can definitely get into the sharp knife class. I can rest assured with your words, Jiang Zhao nodded meaningfully. Hee hee. Wang Yunyan gave a sly smile and stuck out her tongue at him. Fanqing City, Jiangji Cake Shop. Jiang Zhao, who returned home, felt a sense of returning home. Mom, I'm back. Hurry up and stir-fry a few dishes for me. How about it, how about stargazing? Have you condensed your own life star soul card? What specific card is it? Jiang Xinmei eagerly approached. Can you let me have a sip of water first? What do you mean? You messed up. Jiang Xinmei's face darkened. That's not true. The old mother's face instantly relaxed and she said, I mean, how could I mess up after eating your mother's blessing cake? Come on, son, drink water. Jiang Zhao took a few sips and headed straight to the sofa. Speak up, as long as it's not a cake item card. That must be impossible. Jiang Zhao smiled triumphantly, took out his star soul card, and threw it, and the rooster appeared brightly. Jiang Xinmei instantly widened her eyes, her expression gradually turning from confusion to ecstasy. The 2.5-star summoning card is still a humanoid summoning object, it looks very powerful. Whatever you want to eat, Mom will make it for you. Jiang Zhaoqing cleared his throat and began to proudly announce the names of the dishes. After a delicious meal, my mother happily prepared to go out. Why are you going? The store's not open anymore. What else are you looking at? Let's temporarily suspend business for a day. Your mother needs to go out and have a good time with people. Speaking, put on your favorite war robe, hold your head high and chest up, and go out beautifully. Jiang Zhao couldn't help but laugh and cry. He returned to the upstairs room and silently began practicing soul power. The star soul master in this world mainly cultivates the power of the soul, and divides it into 7 different directions based on the 7 souls. The soul power of different souls can bring different increases to the star soul card, and can also bring the same increase to the star soul master himself. Among them, the increase in central soul power is relatively comprehensive, so star soul masters will start practicing from the central soul. Jiang Zhao is currently in the 3rd stage of his central stamina, and his physical fitness is much better than in his previous life. He can easily jump 1 or 2 meters. From the characteristics he felt of the Pleiades official, it should belong to the agile type of summoner. So in the future, you can try to also cultivate Tianchong spirit, because Tianchong spirit has a greater impact on agility. In addition, in the future, if you want to become an astrological card maker, you will need to cultivate additional spiritual power. The higher the spiritual power, the more comprehensive the starry sky can be sensed, and the more stars can be connected and communicated. For example, the legendary purple star, even with the increase in benefits for beginners during their first stargazing, feels so unreachable. It can only be said that the road to becoming a star-based card maker is a long and arduous one. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Nebula Master. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 3 Nebula Master. In the evening, Jiang Zhao returned happily. At the dinner table, she happily shared her achievements of the day. Looking at the pride and happiness on his mother's face, Jiang Zhao was also very satisfied in his heart. After dinner, Jiang Zhao returned to his room and released the Pleiades star to observe and feel carefully. Handsome is really handsome, but a bit silly. Dashiener, can you hear me speaking? The Rooster Lord floated on the side with majesty and martial prowess, obviously unwilling to pay attention to Jiang Zhao, only glancing at him with his sharp eyes. Jiang Zhao has always been curious about the specific existence of star souls in this world. Now it seems that the Chicken Lord obviously has some consciousness, but only a little. In my impression, in the videos of Star Soul Masters fighting online, most Star Soul Summoners have a high level of self-awareness, and some high-level Star Souls can even communicate with Star Soul Masters. It seems that we need to elevate the level of Chicken Master, in order to restore him to a certain level of consciousness. As his own Destiny Star Soul card, Chicken Lord is destined to accompany him to the end. Moreover, even if one dies in battle, the soul card of the Destiny Star can be reunited through the cultivation of time and soul power. Therefore, for any Star Soul Master, the soul card of the Destiny Star is the focus of future cultivation. In addition, the soul card of the Destiny Star has an initial soul compatibility of 50%. The higher the soul fit of the Star Soul card, the stronger the power it can display. To put it simply, Jiang Zhao can only unleash 50% of the power of Chicken Master now. Improving the soul fit of the Star Soul card is an extremely mysterious and difficult process. In summary, it can be seen that the importance of the Fate Star Soul card for Star Soul Masters is evident. Strong is strong, but I'm afraid I won't be able to afford it for a while. Different types of Star Soul cards require different materials for promotion. Generally, the stronger the Star Soul card, the more difficult it is to promote. Take the Chicken Lord summoning card for example. First, you need to kill a summoning card of the same level, or a foreign evil object of the same level, and absorb their power. Secondly, it is necessary to prepare a 2.5-star pure yang attribute material. The key is that there is a possibility of promotion failure and the materials will not be returned. One night, Jiang Zhao searched online for a large amount of information on humanoid summoning cards and pure yang summoning cards, which had little value. After all, the truly valuable information is in the hands of various Star Soul Master organizations and aristocratic families. If a humble Star Soul Master wants to obtain useful information, they either spend money or work hard. As for the information about the Xingguan, immortal, race, as expected, there is no such race found. On the contrary, it is the numerical attribute of Divinity that allows him to find some scattered information, mainly discussions about the high and low value of Divinity, as well as which card maker can create a Star Soul card with Divinity. The most important part of the discussion among netizens revealed an important message. That is to say, when a Star Soul card with Divinity is promoted, it also needs an additional divine material. Divinity. Divine materials. Combining the shock and murmur of Divinity by Gao Qi and his assistant during the Stargazing ceremony, it is not difficult to infer that the numerical attribute of Divinity is not simple. However, the specific role and significance of divine values may only be known by officially joining the Star Soul Master Association. Looking at the proud rooster standing on the side, his wallet was already trembling. The pressure of money made Jiang Zhao sleepless all night. Early the next morning, a surprised voice from her mother Jiang Zhao came downstairs. "Stinky kid, come down quickly. Yun came to find you." "Ah. Why did you come too?" "Old classmate, long time no see." Then came the voice of a middle-aged man. Jiang Zhao sat up with a loud cry and quickly went downstairs to check. "What is the situation?" After going downstairs, I realized it was Ruan Yunyan's father. I saw him pick him up from school twice before and said, Uncle Ruan. Why did you come? No, you and my mother are old classmates. Child, we meet again. Ruan Zhong greeted him with a smile. Not only Jiang Zhao, but also Ruan Yunyan blinked her curious big eyes and was shocked. Dad, are you classmates with Aunt Jiang? The two elders smiled at each other without much explanation. It's rare for you to remember my old classmate, come and have some tea, Jiang Xinmei said as she cooked tea for the guest. I haven't had a chance to thank you for my child's high school enrollment before. You're welcome, Ruan Zhongzheng chuckled in silence. Yun has been enjoying your cake for years. That little cake is only worth a few dollars. Jiang Xinmei smiled nonchalantly, but it was our secretary, Ruanda, who personally came to the door, which surprised our old classmates. Ruan Zhongzheng said solemnly, I am representing the association today and came to find Jiang Zhao. Tell me earlier, come and eat fruit. Jiang Xinmei's eyes lit up slightly, and her attitude instantly became much more enthusiastic than before. With your old classmate taking care of me, I can feel a lot more at ease. Don't worry, Jiang Zhao is far more excellent than you imagine. That's necessary, let's not see whose son it is, said Jiang Xinmei with pride in her eyes. Jiang Zhao and Ruan Yunyan saw everything in their eyes, with strange expressions and a faint smell of something wrong. Intuition tells them that these two people are definitely not as simple as their old classmates. This is the registration form for this year's sharp knife class. Ruan Zhong was smiling as he took out a delicate form from his bag and placed it in front of Jiang Zhao. Just fill it out, and Uncle Ruan will help you with the other forms. What are you still waiting for? Fill it out quickly. Jiang Xinmei urged angrily. Oh, okay. Jiang Zhao regained consciousness from his confusion and filled out the form with a heart full of doubts. So what? Yun, you take Xiao Zhao to do the right thing first, and our old classmates will reminisce about the past. Ruan Zhongzheng narrowed his eyes and smiled. Jiang Zhao and Ruan Yunyan glanced at each other, hesitated, and walked out of the cake shop with complex expressions. After the two of them left, Ruan Zhong was looking at Jiang Zhao's back outside the shop window, changing his previous approachable attitude. The child is indeed a good child, but I still don't want to understand. Who the hell did it back then? Was it Zhang Daniu's grandson? If you bring up this matter again, I'll kick someone out. Jiang Xinmei's face darkened and she said coldly. Okay, Ruan Zhongzheng sighed helplessly. Outside the cake shop, the boys and girls looked at each other and coincidentally blurted out. Impossible, impossible, my mom, Dad, is not that kind of person. At that moment, both of them even began to suspect that they were half-siblings. Surprised, my mom and your dad are old classmates. Are they elementary school classmates? Jiang Zhao's face was strange and bewildered. After all, in his impression, my mother was just an ordinary, low-ranking star soul master with little future. When we go back tonight, we'll have a good interrogation and we'll know. Then, Jushin will exchange information. Sure, Jiang Zhao agreed deeply and immediately spoke with confusion, but then, by the way, where are we going? Have Master Xingyan heard of it? What do you mean? We're going to see Master Xingyan. Jiang Zhao swallowed his saliva in suspicion. You should know that it is a well-known card maker in the bustling city and even the entire Jinzhou, who has created a star-like genre. That's right, Ruan Yunyan secretly boasted, my dad said you're a cultivable talent and he's going to give you a big gift. By the way, he'll take you to gain a deeper understanding. Seriously. Why are you lying? The materials and star chart are ready, Ruan Yunyan sneered, of course, the main thing is to make a card for me. As for whether your card can succeed or not, it depends on luck. Jiang Zhaoqiang suppressed his excitement and curiously asked, what card? Appliance card, mechanical power skateboard, excellent means of transportation. Starry City, near the outskirts. Outside a standalone villa, there are numerous star soul masters who come to seek a star soul card from the star cloud master. The old butler dealt with the card seekers with a tired face, politely recording their card-making needs. Wang Yunyun held the appointment letter and led Jiang Zhao into the villa amidst the envious gaze of the star soul masters. As soon as you step into the villa gate, it feels like you have passed through a unique energy barrier. The scenery in front of you suddenly changes, as if you are in a beautiful fairy tale fairyland, with various strange plants dazzling you. Obviously, it is the effect of a domain card, and plant cards should be able to achieve significant growth in this field. I'm afraid only card makers can be so extravagant. It's okay if you come, how did you bring him along? What bad luck. A familiar young man in the villa courtyard was waiting quietly. After seeing Jiang Zhao, he looked disgusted. I'm unlucky to see you, Mississippi. Wang Yunyun was secretly annoyed and didn't expect Luo Changfeng to be there too. Luo Changfeng was not angry at all. He glanced at Jiang Zhao with high toes and said, "It's ridiculous. You don't pee or look in the mirror. Is this where you can come? You can come, why can't you come, young master?" Jiang Zhao frowned inwardly. I didn't get along with him before, so I really thought he had a good temper and was easy to bully, right? Upon hearing this, Luo Changfeng was clearly taken aback and said, "It's interesting. I only got Zhang's 2.5-star garbage card, so I dare to talk back to this young master. If it weren't for the sake of Wang Yunyun's face, would you believe that I released the ghost centipede and bit you into thick water? You can give it a try." Jiang Zhao calmly raised his hand and swung out the star soul card, and the rooster appeared brightly. Out of measure. Luo Changfeng sneered and raised his hand to summon the netherworld centipede, but unfortunately it couldn't be released for a long time. Netherworld centipede. Netherworld centipede. Is it because the domain card here has suppressed my netherworld centipede? Jiang Zhao saw everything in his eyes and smiled silently. Humph, you're lucky, kid. Luo Changfeng sneered bitterly. Wang Yunyun was originally a bit worried, but when she saw that the netherworld centipede couldn't be released, she couldn't help but burst into laughter. Chicken Lord, give him a kick. With a command from Jiang Zhao, the Pleiades star official beside him roared away in an instant, and kicked Luo Changfeng away amidst his shocked screams. After finishing the task, she shook the exquisite red and rosy feathered cloak behind her and drifted back to Jiang Zhao's side. You're so desperate. Luo Changfeng stood up in embarrassment, completely surprised that Jiang Zhao dared to take action against him. Jiang Zhao saw the situation and was about to give another order when he heard a majestic shout from the villa, "Next up, hurry up. Kid, wait for me. If you have any guts, don't go out." Luo Changfeng gave Jiang Zhao a fierce glare and hurriedly headed towards the interior of the villa. At the same time, a familiar figure walked out of the villa, and it was Gao Qi, the person in charge of yesterday's stargazing ceremony. "Hey Uncle Gao Qi, you also came to visit Master Xingyun?" Wang Yunyun said in surprise. "Are you too?" Gao Qi walked over with a light smile. "I had a chance recently and happened to come to ask Master Xingyun for a Dragon Clan Star Soul card." Dragon Clan card. Wang Yunyun covered her mouth and exclaimed in surprise, "Is it possible? Uncle Gao Qi, you actually gathered all the materials for the Dragon Clan card. Did you spend a lot of money? What do you think?" Gao Qi felt a hint of heartache, but his face was filled with a satisfied expression. "But the Star Cloud Master Dragon Clan card really lives up to its reputation, it's worth it. Can we take a look?" Wang Yunyun blinked her big eyes and eagerly looked at Gao Qi. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Self-provided materials, non-refundable. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Self-provided materials, non-refundable, of course you can. With a light smile, Gao Qi pulled out a brand new Star Soul card from the card bag, with a unique star pattern printed on the front and 3 star-shaped gemstones inlaid on the back. It turned out to be a star soul card with an initial 3 stars. It should be noted that it is difficult for a card maker to achieve an initial grade of 3 stars for a card. On the one hand, it depends on the quality of the materials, and on the other hand, it also depends on the level of the card maker. Master Xingyun's Dragon Clan card is already powerful and at the initial level of Samsung, no wonder Gao Qi thinks it's worth it. Ow! Accompanied by a roar of the dragon, a plump, dark blue-winged flying dragon appeared above Gao Qi's head, with a body length of over 6 meters and an imposing presence. Ruan Yunyun stared blankly at the fierce summoning beast above. Jiang Zhao had a shocked expression on the surface, but in reality, he sneered. As a descendant of the Yan and Huang dynasties, he immediately lost interest when he saw that he was a Western lizard dragon. Is the lizard dragon also known as the dragon tribe? Jokes. Not to mention the divine beast Qinglong represented by the Eastern Azure Dragon 7 constellations, just the Kongjin dragon in the 28 constellations is enough to crush these flesh lizards. Samsung Blue Dragon, with water attribute, comes with the talent and skill of Wave Dragon Roar, and is bound with 19% soul compatibility, which is quite good. Gao Qi introduced to the two with satisfaction. What a big one. Ruan Yunyun looked envious. Don't worry, take your time. Gao Qi chuckled and put away the Samsung Blue Dragon. With your dad around, you're afraid you won't be able to get the powerful Star Soul card. Ruan Yunyun pursed her lips and said, although my mechanical cards are also very strong, I still prefer the powerful and domineering creature Star Soul like the Dragon Clan. Upon hearing this, Gao Qi couldn't help but laugh and cry. How many people crave mechanical cards, this girl actually despises them. Speaking of which, brother Jiang Zhao's life card is quite good. Just when Master Xingyun noticed it, he became very interested in your life card astrology. Gao Qi turned his gaze to Jiang Zhao and reminded him, there aren't many things that Master Xingyun is interested in. Remember to calm down later. Master Xingyun has a lot of good things in his hands. Thank you for your guidance, Senior Gao. Jiang Zhao was secretly surprised. Don't just talk about being a senior, Secretary Ruan should have already reached an agreement with your parents, right? If nothing unexpected happens, I should be the teacher of your sharp knife class, just call me Teacher Gao. Gao Qi smiled. Good Teacher Gao. Ruan Yunyun was pleasantly surprised and said, is that okay, Uncle Gao? Everyone is qualified to take the sharp knife class. In terms of strength and seniority, you and Uncle Gao are already qualified, but... Forget it, why are we talking about this? Gao Qi seemed to think of something bothering him and shook his head, sighing. Anyway, don't expect me to show mercy to you guys. Uncle Gao, I'm so ruthless that I'm afraid of myself. I know Uncle Gao. Not right. It should be Teacher Gao. Gao Qi smiled with relief and then left first, citing an important matter to handle. Jiang Zhao has a good impression of Gao Qi, but he didn't expect him to be the teacher of the upcoming sharp knife class. Is our Teacher Gao very strong? Jiang Zhao asked curiously. Well, Ruan Yunyun nodded without thinking. Uncle Gao Qi is definitely a member of the first tier among his peers' Star Soul Masters, but he's not very lucky. His life card has been broken 3 times in a row, otherwise he would have entered the middle level of the association long ago. After leading our sharp blade class this time, he probably would have been promoted to a higher level. How did it break down 3 times in a row? Although a life card can be reborn, generally a broken life card means encountering a major crisis. I can still survive after breaking it 3 times in a row, my destiny is tough enough. The first 2 times seem to be for saving people, but the 3rd time I'm not quite sure. Anyway, in the end, I was criticized and reported. It seems that Teacher Gao is also an extraordinary person. Jiang Zhao sighed and said coldly, by the way, Yun, I remember your birthday is on August 25th, right? Yeah, what's wrong? Wan Yunyun couldn't help but feel a little puzzled. It's nothing, just ask casually. No, there must be something going on. Honestly explain it. Wan Yunyun, with her hands on her hips, stared at Jiang Zhao in anger. At this very moment, the shout of Master Xingyun came from the villa. Next up, be a bit silly. Upon hearing this, Wan Yunyun quickly picked up Jiang Zhao and rushed towards the villa, forgetting what had just happened. Kid, come here quickly and suffer death. Luo Changfeng, who had just received a new card, felt that he was good again and shouted loudly. Unfortunately, Wan Yunyun and Jiang Zhao ignored him and passed by him directly, entering the interior of the villa. You're a coward. Luo Changfeng was not in a hurry, calmly walked out of the villa and patiently waited. Today, he wants to let Jiang Zhao know the strength of the Star's Soul Master from the aristocratic family. Master Xingyun is a handsome old man in his 60s, lazily sitting on the stargazing platform, surrounded by miscellaneous materials. The younger generation Wan Yunyun, Jiang Zhao, has met Master Xingyun. The two of them saluted respectfully. Wan Zhongzheng's daughter, isn't she? Master Xingyun nodded slightly and turned to look curiously at Jiang Zhao. But this little one's destiny card is very unique. Hey little one, how about discussing a transaction? Due to Gao Qi's previous reminder, Jiang Zhao was mentally prepared and said, Master, are you interested in the lower generation's destiny astrology? That's right, you can just say what you want, as long as you don't go too far. Jiang Zhao hesitated and said, can I refuse? Refuse? Why refuse? Master Xingyun was shocked in his eyes. Do you know what it means to be able to trade with me? Of course, the younger generation knows. Jiang Zhao remained neither humble nor arrogant, but they want to keep them for their own research. Do you study it yourself? Master Xingyun was stunned and a hint of ridicule surged in his eyes. Huh, I like young people with dreams like you. But I agreed in advance that if I come to trade with you again next time, it won't be at the current price. It is obvious that Master Nebula does not believe that he can become a card maker. Over the years, he has seen too many ignorant little guys who aspire to become an astrological card maker. There is no one who can ultimately embark on the path of a business card maker. Is it so easy to be a star-based card maker? Understood. Jiang Zhao naturally heard the sarcasm in Master Xingyun's words. Next time. How could there be another time? Master Xingyun was not in a hurry and turned to look at Wan Yunyun. Little girl, are you ready with the materials and star map? Be ready. Wan Yunyun obediently presented the materials and star chart with both hands. Is it a mechanical powered skateboard? Master Xingyun stared at the star map for a moment and understood, as usual, the remaining materials will not be refunded. As for the cost, your father has already paid for it. After speaking, Master Xingyun began to search for the celestial phenomena of the mechanical-powered skateboard through the stargazing mirror. During the search, he didn't forget to glance at Jiang Zhao, who was eager for knowledge, but smiled silently. After a moment, place several damaged metal parts and materials around oneself according to the orientation of the star. In the moment of closing your eyes, the material is suspended under the strong spiritual force. Buzz. A starlight is projected out of thin air onto Master Nebula. Several materials gradually melted and disintegrated under the illumination of starlight, eventually condensing into a 1.5-star mechanical tool card. 1. Put it away. Master Xingyun casually threw the star soul card to Wan Yunyun and began to place the second set of materials. Is there another one, right? After a moment, the second identical mechanical tool card successfully coalesced. Wan Yunyun prepared a total of 5 materials, and the remaining 3 were directly put into Master Xingyun's pocket. There's no way, this is their skill. To put it bluntly, even if all 5 materials fail, Wan Yunyun can only consider herself unlucky. Master Xingyun is indeed impressive. Wan Yunyun was overjoyed with a hint of respect, completely not feeling that those three materials were a waste. Slow down, no delivery. Master Xingyun smiled as he bid farewell. Oh, by the way, welcome young man, to come again next time. The two people who walked out of the villa eagerly used their soul power to bind the mechanical tool cards in their hands. Binding star soul cards is very easy, especially for new cards, but it can be a bit troublesome to unbind them. The more times a card is unbound, the harder it becomes to rebind it. So in the second-hand card market, the more times you unbind, the lower the price. At the moment when the card binding was successful, Jiang Zhao's mind also came up with information about mechanical-powered skateboards. Mechanical power skateboard type. Appliance card category. Mechanical grade. Usage. Flight vehicle, with moderate difficulty in handling. Soul fit. 21% TSK. Even this kind of black technology can be integrated. The stars in this world are really magical. Just as Jiang Zhao secretly expressed his surprise, Wang Yunyun beside him had already proficiently released a silver-white skateboard about 60 centimeters long. There were also two symmetrical sprayers at the tail of the skateboard, which were suspended from the ground without knowing the principle behind it. Woohoo! Wang Yunyun exclaimed excitedly, riding a mechanical skateboard and waving to Jiang Zhao. What are you still waiting for? Follow up quickly. Jiang Zhao smiled slightly and activated the tool card to release an identical skateboard. Jumping onto the skateboard in a wobbly manner, after some exploration and adaptation, it was easy to get started. Just kidding, he's also someone who has skateboarded before, okay. Whoosh. Whoosh. Two skateboards flew smoothly out of the realm card range, causing a stir and envy among the villa's alien soul masters. How dare you come out? Below came Luo Changfeng's cold laughter, and then he rode a dark red bat and blocked in front of the two. Wang Yunyun's face darkened, and the star soul card shone brightly, accompanied by a mechanical deformation sound. The mechanical gloves were tightly wrapped around her right arm. Be careful, that should be the Luo family's bloodthirsty bat, a 2-star summoning card. Ruan, go aside. This is something between us men. Luo Changfeng gritted his teeth and stared at Jiang Zhao. Jiang Zhao smiled confidently, and the rooster appeared brightly. You still look like a man. Luo Changfeng sneered as he was about to release the netherworld centipede to deal with it, but the same situation happened again. He couldn't even release it 3 times. What's the situation? It's not within the realm anymore, is it? At the same time, the rooster's fierce gaze swept over the bloodthirsty bat. The next second, before Luo Changfeng could figure out what was going on, the bloodthirsty bat under his crotch was trembling and turning its direction, flying towards the distance. Because my whole body was trembling, I didn't fly very fast and swayed leisurely. Bloodthirsty bat. What's wrong with you? Go back. I'll let you go back. Do you hear me? Watching Luo Changfeng's comical exit, Wang Yunyun regained her senses for a long time and looked at Jiang Zhao with suspicion. Do you still have the ability to intimidate this humanoid star soul? As I've said before, the essence of my star soul card is a big rooster. If Luo Changfeng and his 2 poisons see a rooster, can't they run away? Jiang Zhao sneered. Also shouting, Wang Yunyun nodded suddenly. At the same time, the star soul masters below who were seeking cards were also stunned by this strange scene, and they were discussing it one after another. Inside the villa, on the stargazing platform, Master Xingyun also observed this scene with his spiritual power and was secretly surprised in his heart. What is the origin of this star soul? Not only does it possess divinity, but it can also easily scare away the star soul in the dark and mysterious realm. I admit that I have a deep understanding of various myths, legends, and astrological classics, but I completely cannot understand the origin and significance of this astrological figure. Subsequently, use soul power to condense the star pattern on the face of the Pleiades star officer card before your eyes. Which star field has such an arrangement of stars? I don't remember at all. Is it a problem with the observation angle? Let's look first and see if we can sense any useful information. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Scorpio. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Scorpio. The power skateboard is very fast, but it consumes a bit of soul power. With the soul power of the third section of Jiang Zhao's central soul, he persisted in flying back to the vicinity of Jiang Ji cake shop, leaving very little. In the store, the two elders were chatting happily, like old friends who had been separated for many years. Upon seeing the two of them return, Wan Zhongzheng stopped making any further stops. There's still a lot of things to deal with in the association, so I won't disturb my old classmates, he said. Jiang Zhao, this stinky kid, will rely on your care in the future. Jiang Xinmei smiled happily as she bid farewell. I will take good care of my eldest nephew even if you don't say so, Wan Zhong said with a smile. What's the situation? How could I become a big nephew? Jiang Zhao was confused. Your mother and I are old acquaintances now. Is there a problem calling me uncle? Wan Zhongzheng joked. In the future, I will enter the association and practice well. If you need anything, just go find uncle and uncle will come up with a solution for you. Jiang Zhao hesitated and glanced at his mother Jiang Xinmei, while Wan Yunyun next to him was clearly a bit confused. After joining the association, listen carefully to your uncle Zhongzheng's words. Have you heard? Jiang Xinmei seems to have recognized Wan Zhongzheng's identity. Okay, Jiang Zhao nodded with a smile. Oh, by the way, uncle, I'll prepare a gift for you. Wan Zhongzheng took out his storage card and a delicate brocade box, saying meaningfully, use it well, don't let this good treasure down. After speaking, she left the cake shop with Wan Yunyun, who was covered in circles. Jiang Zhao opened the brocade box in confusion, and the contents inside left him dumbfounded. Is this too expensive? Inside the brocade box, there is a high-precision stargazing mirror. And it is the model that consistently ranks first on the list. Judging from the number on the box, it is still a high-end customized version. Let me put it this way, the stargazing mirror from the previous stargazing ceremony may not be as good as this one. If you sell it to Jiangji Cake Shop, you can buy at most a few parts. Mom, what kind of friendship do you have with Uncle Wan? Why don't you just retreat? Jiang Zhao felt uneasy in his heart. Just keep it for you. Jiang Xinmei's expression was a bit complicated. Although your uncle is doing well, he can't afford to give him a stargazing mirror of this level. Who gave it to? Who else can it be? Your grandfather. What? I still have a grandfather. Jiang Zhao was shocked and lost his composure. In his memory, he had never heard his mother mention his grandfather. Jiang Xinmei couldn't help but say, nonsense, is it possible that your mother jumped out of a stone? What does that grandpa do? Why haven't you ever taken me to visit his old man's house? Jiang Zhao was not foolish either, so he could guess that there must be some past grievances in this. Don't ask what shouldn't be asked, Jiang Xinmei said impatiently. The old man pretended to borrow brother Zhongzheng's hand to give you something. He has a bit of conscience. Jiang Zhao whispered and probed, did your grandfather not agree to your marriage with my father back then, and then you eloped with him? Jiang Xinmei's forehead turned black. Do you think you're filming a dog blood TV drama? Besides, how many times have you said that you don't have a father? What is that for? It's nothing, Jiang Xinmei said irritably. Anyway, your grandfather and grandson have nothing to do with you. If you don't like to recognize them, don't recognize them. It's nothing to do with my mother. After finishing speaking, he returned to his room feeling restless and slammed the door shut. Jiang Zhao silently returned to the upstairs room, filled with emotions. Sure enough, every traveler has a dog blood background, and from the moment he knew his mother was a single mother, he had anticipated such a day. Jiang Zhao never cared about his wild father at all. But he is still quite curious about his grandfather and grandmother. I took out my phone and contacted Wan Yunyun, asking if she had any useful information. Upon learning that Wan Zhongzheng had died and refused to disclose it, even Wan Yunyun had moved out her mother. Wan Zhongzheng remained silent. This made Jiang Zhao even more curious. It seems that my grandfather is very likely a senior member of the Star Soul Master Association. What should come eventually comes, and curiosity is useless at the moment. It is important to improve one's strength as soon as possible. After all, every sharp knife class will have a training session before enrollment. Although I don't know what you look like, my great-grandson is here first. Thank you. Your stargazing mirror came too timely. Jiang Zhao excitedly arranged the stargazing glasses. Throughout history, stargazing glasses have been his biggest challenge as a card maker, and according to his previous plan, the lowest grade stargazing glasses would have to be saved up for several years. Before that, one could only apply to borrow the association's stargazing glasses. Now with this stargazer, he can start his career as a card maker ahead of schedule. Exploring his spiritual power into the stargazing mirror, a vast starry sky appeared clearly before Jiang Zhao's eyes, much clearer than the previous stargazing ceremony. No, no, no. Jiang Zhao, who was about to observe the sensing stars, suddenly froze. How can there still be the aura of the destiny star? Yes, during the moment of stargazing, he once again felt the strong aura unique to his own star. With a slight movement of mind, consciousness shuttled through the vast starry sky, and a shining star appeared before Jiang Zhao's eyes, unexpectedly becoming the second star of his own destiny. Capricorn II, Scorpio. Jiang Zhao was shocked and quickly reacted. Does it mean that my soul in my previous life also had a star of destiny? This is undoubtedly a great good thing for him. TSK 2 innate star soul cards, perhaps this is the power of the transmigrator. So the question is, do you choose the Heart Moon Fox or Scorpio? There is already one of the 20.8 constellations, why not try the 12 constellations for this second natural star? After thinking about it, start guiding the power of the destiny star to light up the stars in Scorpio. 1, 2, 3 based on previous experience, simply light up the main bright stars in the constellation. At the moment when the 14th star lit up, a mythological legend about Scorpio came to mind, and in my heart, I silently called out, its name, Scorpio. The next second, both spiritual and soul power are instantly drained. In the endless sea of spiritual consciousness, the constellation Scorpio is illuminated. Scorpio returns to its position, and the stars and gods descend. A strong starlight pierced through the roof and projected onto Jiang Zhao, slowly condensing into a 2.5 star soul card. The information of this star soul card came to mind. Scorpio type. Summoning card race. Star god, genre. Water grade. Divinity. 59 talent skill. Scorpio draws soul fit. 50% it feels similar to the Pleiades star official, but the divine value is much lower. Take a deep breath and activate the release of the star soul card. Amidst the shimmering water blue starlight, a muscular body resembling a human but not a human stretched out from its curled up state, enveloped in dark blue armor, shimmering with a metallic luster like starlight. The head is completely wrapped in deep blue armor, with sharp edges and a sharp front end that curves slightly downwards. The tail is dragged with a scorpion tail connected by segments of deep blue armor, like a chain sword, with sharp edges like a blade. The feet always maintain a light tiptoe posture, as if they can launch an attack accordingly. Stepping on a constellation formation, like a shadow accompanying you, it's very cool. Shoo, it's a bit handsome, buddy. Jiang Zhao's eyes lit up. The Pleiades official is exceptionally handsome and powerful, while the Scorpio in front of him is that kind of mech-like coolness. Like the Pleiades, Scorpio clearly lacks much consciousness. Will Scorpio be restrained by the Pleiades chicken bloodline? Then he tried to release the Pleiades star official, and the two great Buddhas looked at each other coldly as a sign of respect. And Scorpio did not show any signs of fear, only a hint of fear. From this, it can be seen that Scorpio is not a biological scorpion, which can also be seen from its race type. Are you afraid that you won't be able to survive in this world with these two protectors at the beginning? After continuing to appreciate and compare the shapes of the two major protectors, Jiang Zhao began to formally sense and observe the starry sky and celestial phenomena through the stargazing mirror. In the vast sea of stars, each one emits faint information and fluctuations, as if telling the observer their story. Unfortunately, for Jiang Zhao's current mental strength, these fluctuations in information are still too vague. Of course, the information and significance of those celestial phenomena in the past life can be easily understood without induction. What truly needs him to sense and study are those celestial phenomena that were not present in the past life. The starry sky in this world is far more vast than the blue stars in previous lives. It's not like the starry sky that can be observed on a single planet, it's more like the sky of thousands of planets mixed together. This situation is obviously not very scientific. But even time travel can happen. Let's talk about the science of a hammer. Fanqing City, Luojia Manor. Luo Changfeng was sent back home by a bloodthirsty bat, and his whole body was like an abandoned eggplant, doubting life. Useless thing. Luo Changfeng restrained himself and put away the bloodthirsty bat. He certainly knew that the bloodthirsty bat was frightened, but he couldn't figure out why Jiang Zhao's 2.5-star card could scare the bloodthirsty bat into such a virtue. Even the ghostly centipede, whom he was proud of, was so frightened that he dared not appear. For this, he specifically found his father, Luo Tongqian, who was busy with daily tasks, and explained this strange situation in detail. Luo Tongqian didn't have much interest at first, thinking that his son was not up to par and came to complain to him. But it wasn't until I listened that I realized something was really wrong. Is there such a celestial soul that goes against the sky? Luo Tongqian exclaimed in disbelief, just 2.5 stars can easily deter bloodthirsty bats and the underworld centipede. Is it some kind of innate presence that restrains the underworld's eerie realm? Impossible, the ghost realm is already one of the most dangerous divine realms among the currently known starry sky divine realms. Luo Changfeng looked incredulous. You have all said that it is currently known as the starry sky divine domain. Luo Tongqian couldn't help but say, the vast sea of stars is boundless, and now the exploration of the starry sky by star soul masters is only the tip of the iceberg. Are you saying that the boy's star soul may come from some unknown and powerful celestial realm? Luo Changfeng's face showed an emoji that he couldn't accept. It's very likely, Luo Tongqian nodded solemnly. By the way, what did your classmate do? He's just a kid from an ordinary background, running a small cake shop at home. Luo Tongqian's eyes flickered slightly and he said, it's a bit interesting. If there's a chance, invite him to come and sit at home. Ah. Luo Changfeng refused with full eyes, as for what? Is there a problem with just inviting classmates to come and do some work at home? Aren't you making things difficult for me? Has this child entered this class of sharp swords? Luo Tongqian pondered and asked. I'm not sure, but he has a good relationship with Wan Yunyun, so there's still a certain possibility. Although Luo Changfeng didn't want to believe it, he had to accept this fact. The daughter of Wan Zhongzheng. Yes. It's highly likely that you will be able to enter, and if you join the Sharp Knife Squad in the future, you will be comrades fighting side by side. Find opportunities to invite people to come and play at home. Can I refuse? Luo Changfeng asked weakly. If he had known this, he shouldn't have come to consult his father. Where did his inner arrogance lie? Luo Tongqian's face darkened and he said, can I beat you up? End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Training, Black Zone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 Training, Black Zone. For several consecutive days, Jiang Zhao was immersed in the vast starry sky. Mother Jiang Xinmei is clearly not in a good mood, and Jiang Zhao is also not good at asking about her grandfather's situation. The days have returned to their previous state, but Jiang Zhao's identity has changed from a high school student to a star soul master. Today is the day to go to the sharp knife class training camp. Gao Qi was not surprised to become the mentor of this year's sharp knife class and formed a class group in the Jixin group. In addition to Jiang Zhao, Wang Yunyun, and Luo Changfeng, there are also 3 elite students from other high schools in Fanqing City in the group. After chatting for a few days, they have already gotten to know each other. Mom, I'm leaving. You take care of yourself alone. It's better to worry about yourself. The sharp knife class training is not just for fun, Jiang Xinmei said with a hint of concern in her reluctant eyes. It's okay to be a deserter when necessary, it's not embarrassing. Jiang Zhao couldn't help but laugh and cry, is your son that weak? This is not a problem of weak chicken, not weak chicken, it is self-protection. Okay. Jiang Zhao smiled as if to cope, picked up his heavy luggage, and strode out of the house. Before leaving, he glanced back at his mother, pedaled on a powered skateboard, and raced away. The bustling city is said to be shrouded in a 6-star realm card, and beyond the realm card range, it is no longer a safe zone. The gathering place of the Sharp Knife Squad is on the edge of the territory in the southwest direction of Fanqing City. Having traveled to this world for 18 years, Jiang Zhao has been living in the bustling city and has never been to the outside world. His understanding of the outside world comes from school textbooks and the internet. Are you here? Gao Qi changed his previous attire and wore a black combat uniform, looking much more handsome than before. Teacher Gao. Jiang Zhaoping landed steadily, greeted Gao Qi, and his gaze fell on the 3 young boys and girls next to him. The 3 of them looked enviously at the power skateboard that Jiang Zhao had put away. Jiang Zhao, right. Zhang Yifan, from Fanqing No. 2 Middle School. One of the handsome young men with an inch head stepped forward first, wearing a pair of headphones and a street-style outfit. This person is the only Samsung Destiny card player among the 3, and likes to share some dynamic music in the group. Next, the 2 people next to each other step forward to introduce themselves. Hu Dajuan, from 5th Middle School. Hu Dajuan has a strong physique, dark skin, and a slightly mature appearance. Lu Qiaoqiao, 9th Middle School. Lu Qiaoqiao is the only girl among the 3, with a tall and cold figure, and a hint of pride between her eyebrows. Like Luo Changfeng, she is a typical aristocratic figure. Of course, compared to Luo Changfeng, Lu Qiaoqiao is clearly more normal. Although Zhang Yifan and Hu Dajuan are not descendants of a noble family, their ancestors have been famous star soul masters in the Star City for several generations. In a few more generations, they may also develop into a star soul family. To put it simply, among the 6 members of the sharp knife class, only half of Jiang Zhao is from a humble family. The reason why it is called half is mainly because a grandfather suddenly appeared. But in fact, Jiang Zhaochang was so big that he did not receive any help from his grandfather, and only received a stargazing mirror a few days ago. Jiang Zhao, from No. 1 Middle School. Jiang Zhao introduced himself calmly and without any arrogance. I've heard of you before. It's said that the Destiny card is a 2.5-star humanoid summoning card, very unique, but I don't know how strong it is. Lu Qiaoqiao's words showed a hint of pride. We've all entered the sharp knife class, can we still be weak? Zhang Yifan smiled. That's right, Lu Qiaoqiao nodded slightly. During the conversation, Wang Yunyun and Luo Changfeng had already arrived one after another, introducing themselves to each other. Luo Changfeng and Lu Qiaoqiao are both descendants of a noble family, and they clearly know each other. However, their relationship seems to be not very good, belonging to the kind of mutual ridicule and confrontation. Strange, Xiaoluozi, is this a conversion? Seeing that Luo Changfeng didn't come to mock him, Jiang Zhao was still a bit uncomfortable. I was scared away by you last time, so I naturally didn't dare to be arrogant with you anymore, Wang Yunyan chuckled. But it should be said that those star soul cards of the Luo family are still very fierce when facing evil creatures in the black area. Jiang Zhao looked curiously at Luo Changfeng, who forced an awkward yet polite smile towards him. Everyone is here, then let's go straight. Gao Qi cleared his throat and said sternly, the target of this sharp knife class training is the Southwest Black 9th District. Black 9th District. Hu Dajun exclaimed in surprise, didn't it always be Black 8th District in previous years? What, do you have any objections? Gao Qi frowned. No, Hu Dajun quickly waved his hand. Everything follows the organization's arrangements. Gao Qi let out a soft snort, gesturing for everyone to follow him and set off. Just a few steps away, Jiang Zhao felt like he had passed through an invisible air wall, clearly out of the range of the Star City territory card. In the team, Luo Changfeng and Zhang Yifan were discussing one after another. Ruan, how did it change to the Black 9th District this year? Zhang Yifan and others all knew Ruan Yunyan's identity and cast puzzled glances. Ruan Yunyan calmly explained, the situation in the Black 8th District has long been thoroughly investigated and has lost its significance for training. The association is preparing to replace one training area every year to maintain the original significance of the sharp knife class training. I see. Everyone nodded suddenly. 2 hours later, the sky ahead became noticeably darker. The team members instinctively increased their vigilance, as if they went further, they would enter the black zone. Jiang Zhao doesn't know much about the black zone, he only knows that while the starry sky brings star souls, it also brings a disaster called the invasion of alien stars in the starry sky. From time to time, a black substance called the source of evil and strangeness falls from the sky, scattered around the world. The areas infected by black substances are called black areas. The black area is filled with various extraterrestrial evil creatures, which are extremely dangerous. However, these evil creatures also produce materials and substances that can promote star soul cards. And star soul masters are the main group to fight against the invasion of the black zone. From now on, you will realize the most real and cruel side of this world, Gao Qi reminded while leading the way, only by becoming a powerful star soul master can you protect your family and friends and lead humanity towards the future. For the upcoming training, I will only be responsible for your safety. Unless you encounter an evil object that you cannot handle, I will not take action. Everyone looked at each other and nodded firmly. Your task is very simple. Cross the Black 9 zone, reach the designated location, and collect at least one promotion material related to your life card along the way. You can choose to team up with each other or act alone, and I will wait for you at the finish line. With a hint of indifference in his voice, Gao Qi said, according to tradition, the student who completes the task first will receive a mysterious reward. After speaking, he raised his hand and released the 3-star blue dragon. He flew up onto the back of the blue dragon and left in a cool manner. Hoo! Hoo! The strong wind from the flapping wings of the blue dragon caused the trees around to topple. Zhang Yifan and others were even more amazed. That's the Star Cloud Master Dragon Clan card, right? It's still Samsung. Hu Dajun was envious. When several people were shocked and envied, Luo Changfeng had already released his bloodthirsty bat and left alone, obviously without any intention of teaming up with the others. Cut. Lu Qiao made a cut and immediately pulled out a 2-star summoning card. Accompanied by a loud eagle roar, a giant eagle appeared next to Lu Qiao. Everyone, see you at the finish line. After speaking, he rode the eagle soaring away. The children of aristocratic families are different. Zhang Yifan turned to look at Hu Dajun, let's form a team together. Sure, Hu Dajuan readily agreed. Although the two of them really want to form a team with Wang Yunyun, it can also be seen that Wang Yunyun has a good relationship with Jiang Zhao. I saw Zhang Yifan summoning a giant dandelion that was over 3 meters long, just like Harry Potter flying on a broomstick, carrying Hu Dajuan and flying away together, leaving Jiang Zhao stunned. Bats and eagles can still understand, but what kind of ghost is a dandelion? It's so big, how can it fly? Magic dandelion. Let's go too. It feels like the material of your humanoid star soul is not easy to find. Wang Yunyun skillfully released the power skateboard and stepped on it. Jiang Zhao nodded slightly, skateboarding and sliding along with Wang Yunyun, closely following the ground on the jungle grassland. What will be rewarded for reaching the finish line first? Jiang Zhao asked curiously. I don't know, it depends on the mood above. Wang Yunyun smiled and said, anyway, it must be a good thing. The reward for last year's session was like a 2-star skill card called Electric Shock. Jiang Zhao's eyes lit up slightly, and he suddenly became interested. Although he has valuable wealth in astrology from his past life, it is highly likely that all he produces are summoning cards, and the principle of making skill cards is not yet clear. I just don't know if this year's reward will also be a skill card. Not long after delving deep into the black area, the energy monitoring devices on their wrists beeped. Be careful, something evil is coming. At the same time as Wang Yunyun reminded, 2-star soul cards appeared. 2 sets of mechanical gloves quickly wrapped around her 2 arms, causing Jiang Zhao to be momentarily stunned. Although she is a beautiful girl, she gives off a feeling of a gorilla at this moment. At the same time, several monsters with a black aura emanating from their entire bodies were already sandwiched between the two, each with a strange and terrifying appearance. However, judging from the aura emitted by these monsters, they only look like level 1 or 2. Master Chicken, come out and make a public appearance. Accompanied by a loud rooster crow, the Pleiades star appeared brightly. With just a chicken crow during their appearance, the black aura on several evil creatures was shaken away. Then, they swung their Xiaoyu cloak and kicked the incoming first-level evil creature to the ground, convulsing and turning into a black aura, dissipating and disappearing. At the location where the evil creature disintegrates, a unique plant branch is left behind, making it a perfect slingshot material. Bang! 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 Looking at the other side, Wang Yunyun stepped on a power skateboard and easily avoided the attack of evil creatures. At this moment, she was waving a pair of mechanical arms, chasing after the second-level evil creature among them. The ferocious and terrifying second-level evil creature was so stunned that it couldn't stand up straight from being hammered by Wang Yunyun. What a fierce and beautiful girl! When Jiang Zhao was amazed, the chicken master beside him had easily eliminated 2 scattered first-level evil creatures. At the same time, the second-level evil creature has also been hammered to death by Wang Yunyun. The black energy dissipated, leaving a peculiar fragment on the ground. How is it a bone fragment? It's good to drop a piece of metal fragment. Wang Yunyun silently picked up the broken bone, looking disappointed. Jiang Zhao happily put away the other materials. There is no way, even the most basic materials are materials. As a self-made card maker, you must learn to save money and manage your business diligently. Are all evil things condensed from these strange and bizarre fragments? Jiang Zhao looked at the miscellaneous materials in his hand and was secretly puzzled. Almost so. Where did these things come from? They fell from the sky. To be precise, it should have fallen under the influence of the source of evil. Wang Yunyun explained casually, go ahead, keep moving forward, get the task materials in hand first. The headquarters of the Star Soul Master Association. In a magnificent building inside the Holy Palace, an old man wearing a starry robe sat on the sofa with a black face, watching the footage playing on the screen in front of him. Beside him sat an elegant and dignified old lady, with several assistants standing beside her. Is this the grandson that my dead girl gave me? Humph, he looks quite energetic. The old lady covered her mouth and chuckled lightly. It looks very similar to you, this terrible old man, when you were young. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Evil objects outside the territory and the divine power of the Chicken Lord. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 8. Special Awards and Student ID. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Special Awards and Student ID Fanqing City, within Heizhou District. After listening to Gao Qi and Wan Yunyan's explanations, Jiang Zhao realized that there were still different levels of extraterrestrial evil creatures. Elites, commanders, and lords. The strength of extraterrestrial evil creatures is related to the amount and concentration of evil energy inside their bodies. The more evil energy they have, the stronger their strength becomes. Gao Qi further explained, you can understand evil energy as the soul power that supports them, just like the increase of Star Soul Master's soul power on Star Soul cards. How many soul powers is this commanding black snake equivalent to? Elite-level evil creatures already have 5 levels of soul power or above, and the leader level has at least 7 or 8 levels, and 10 levels or above, which is the Lord-level evil creature, explained Gao Qi. Jiang Zhao was secretly surprised. That is to say, they defeated a 2.5-star monster with Central Soul's 7th and 8th section soul power. No wonder Gao Qi couldn't believe it. Are you sure you're not making a mistake? Wan Yunyan still couldn't believe it. It won't be wrong, Gao Qi said with a determined expression. Please explain in detail the process of the battle just now. The two of them looked at each other and spoke one sentence at a time. As Gao Qi listened, he became more and more surprised and couldn't help but ponder. The problem should be with the Chicken Master's move, Sick Hen Cries at Dawn. From Yun Yan's description, the evil energy inside the black snake has been shaken away a lot. Right. After the voice of the Rooster Master, the big black snake clearly beat up a lot. Wan Yunyan nodded in agreement. This can explain it. Gao Qi couldn't help but stare at the rooster next to Jiang Zhao. I just didn't expect Xiao Zhao's life card to be so powerful. Jiang Zhao sneered and didn't say much. I'll take the black snake corpse back for you first, and you can continue the mission, Gao Qi said seriously. There's a leader-level evil creature appearing in the Black 9th District, obviously something's not right. Be careful, everyone. Understood. The two nodded solemnly and immediately watched as Blue Dragon picked up the big black snake and left. In the subsequent exploration, there were no more extraterritorial evil objects. With the great killing tool of the Chicken Lord, he chops melons and vegetables all the way without any pressure. After collecting a mechanical material and a pure young attribute material, rush to the designated location as soon as possible. From a distance, it looks like a newly built outpost campsite, with several campsite staff busy in between. Gao Qi waited quietly for the return of the team members. Uncle Gao, we're back. Wan Yunyan landed steadily inside the camp and looked around. No one has come back yet. It seems that the first one is ours. As soon as he finished speaking, Luo Changfeng proudly walked out of the room and said, I'm sorry, I've already taken the first one. Wan Yunyan's forehead turned black and she lost interest in an instant. Not long after, Lu Qiao also rode back on an eagle and seemed somewhat unconvinced when he saw the 3 people who had already returned. After some time, Zhang Yifan and Hu Dajuan arrived on a giant dandelion. Luo Changfeng stood proudly in the crowd, enjoying the admiring gaze of Zhang Yifan and Hu Dajuan. It's just a beginner's black area. For my ghost centipede, it's just an appetizer, he said. The ghost centipede of the Luo family is indeed well deserved. Congratulations to student Luo first, Zhang Yifan congratulated. Luo Changfeng looked around the crowd and then asked Gao Qi, Teacher Gao, can we take out this year's mysterious reward? Gao Qi sneered and threw him a 2-star skill card called Flame Shock. Is the flame impact okay? Luo Changfeng got a bargain and still behaved well, it's quite acceptable. What's your aura? Isn't it common to rely on the promotion materials of the ghost centipede? Lu Qiao sneered, in the future, when you enter the academy, it's not certain who is strong and who is weak. Don't talk about the 4th place, Luo Changfeng sneered. It's not embarrassing for the children of a noble family to only get 4th place. Luo Changfeng, are you looking for a fight? Lu Qiao was furious. He, Luo Changfeng showed off his flame shock in his hand and sneered, can your broken lightning mouse withstand my 2 flames of shock? You. Lu Qiao was both angry and frustrated, yet helpless. Now that Luo Changfeng is holding a flame shock, she is definitely not a match. Lightning mouse. Jiang Zhao was slightly taken aback, but he didn't expect that Lu Qiao's life card was actually a lightning mouse summoning card. Alright, the 2 children of aristocratic families in the team were both restrained to death by the Rooster Master. As for Lu Qiao's 2-star eagle, it is difficult to say whether it can restrain the Rooster Master. After all, Chicken Master is not a big rooster in the general sense. Cough cough, don't even say a few words. Gao Qi cleared his throat and said sternly, once you join the training team, you are all partners and comrades in arms. Anyone who wants to feel strong can come to me for practice. My mentor is always welcome. If you don't have this ability, just lie down obediently for me. In the future, when I enter the college, there will be plenty of sharp guys who love to fight. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone immediately settled down. During his recent training, there were some minor accidents. Gao Qi released the body of the great black snake from his storage card and said sternly, a leader-level external evil creature unexpectedly appeared in the Black 9 zone. What? Evil creatures from outside the domain. Lu Qiao was shocked and pale. How could there be a leader-level evil creature in the Black 9th district? Luo Changfeng also looked shocked. How could this be possible? Zhang Yifan and Hu Dajuan were even more afraid after a while. If they come across this, it's probably because the grass on the grave is already tall. Jiang Zhao and Ruan Yunyun performed relatively calmly. Teacher Gao, how can you ensure our safety when such a major accident occurs in the training black area? Lu Qiao asked seriously, we are here for training, not to die. Luo Changfeng rarely stood on the same front as Lu Qiao. Commander-level evil creatures are not for fun, they should be replaced by a safer black area, he said, right. Zhang Yifan and Hu Dajuan strongly agree. The children of the aristocratic family are the nobles. Gao Qi said with a hint of mockery, don't worry, I have already investigated. This is the only one, and it has already been solved. It's not normal for external evil creatures to appear in the Black 9th district. What if a second one emerges? Asked Luo Changfeng. The association will have corresponding arrangements and measures. Upon hearing this, Luo Changfeng and Lu Qiao were skeptical and obviously not very down to earth. Gao Qi continued on his own, in addition, to recognize the heroic performance of the 2 students, the senior management of the association has specially given 2 special rewards to the 2 outstanding students who killed this leader-level evil creature. After speaking, he raised his hand to signal Jiang Zhao and Ruan Yunyun to take a step forward. For a moment, the whole room fell silent, and the eyes of Luo Changfeng and his 4 companions were all focused on the 2 of them. Luo Changfeng widened his eyes, suspecting that he had hallucinations. What are you saying? This evil creature was killed by them. How could this be possible? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Lu Qiao couldn't believe it. That's a leader-level extraterritorial evil. Jiang Zhao and Ruan Yunyun looked at each other, not expecting a reward. What reward? Ruan Yunyun flashed her big eyes. I'm not sure about the specifics, but it's definitely not worse than flame impact, but because the incident happened suddenly, the reward won't be delivered until a few days later, Gao Qi laughed. Ruan Yunyan's eyes lit up, and she couldn't help but cast a stern gaze at Luo Changfeng. And Luo Changfeng was still in a state of confusion, unable to recover for a long time, and the three people next to him, Lu Qiao, were also the same. Fake, it must be fake. Luo Changfeng couldn't accept it. How could they be opponents of the leader-level evil creatures? I know now, it must have been arranged by Ruan Zhongzheng. It must be like this. Upon hearing this, Lu Qiao and the others couldn't help but doubt. After all, Ruan Yunyan's father, Ruan Zhongyuan, was a member of the Star's Soul Master Association, and Gao Qi was also familiar with Ruan Zhongzheng. Gao Qi sneered, the entire process was recorded by the association's covert surveillance footage. If you're interested, you can go to the room over there to check. Don't think that what you can't do, others can't do it either. Otherwise, when you enter the college, your mentality will eventually explode. I don't believe it. Luo Changfeng gritted his teeth and resolutely rushed towards the monitoring room. Upon seeing this, Lu Qiao and the other three followed suit. Look at his remarkable achievements. Ruan Yunyan looked at Luo Changfeng's reaction and sneered and looked down upon him. Jiang Zhao then turned his gaze back to the corpse of the big black snake. Teacher Gao, what should we do with this corpse? It's not like it's going to be confiscated by the association, is it? The association won't withhold your gains yet. I'll help you break down the bodies later. If you need them, you can keep them yourself, and if you don't, I'll help you sell them. That's fine. Jiang Zhao breathed a sigh of relief. When I first heard about the special reward, I thought the association was going to embezzle the materials of this big black snake. After a moment, 4 people walked out of the surveillance room in a daze. Luo Changfeng looked lost and doubted the state of life. The footage in the surveillance video was like a sharp knife, shattering his inner pride and confidence. Too strong. It's really too strong. The combat power of Jiang Zhao's original soul can almost be described as terrifying. Jiang Ji's life card is so terrifying, it feels like none of us combined may be his opponent. From today on, Brother Jiang will be my boss. The admiration in Zhang Yifan's eyes was about to overflow. Lu Qiao's gaze towards Jiang Zhao also changed from before. After reading it, hurry up and stand over, Gao Qi impatiently beckoned a few people to stand back in their original positions with a serious expression. For the next month, this will be your training camp, where professional card makers will serve you. What you need to do is collect materials as much as possible, add bricks and tiles to your deck, and enhance your strength. Kind reminder, the card makers at the training camp have limited skills, and you know the success rate. Gao Qi grinned wickedly. But the students were not only not angry, but also somewhat excited. Because they are well aware of how precious the opportunity to obtain novice cards for free is. Only the sharp knife class has such benefits, and it is also a challenge and test for them. Oh, by the way, there's also the admission gift package for the sharp knife class. Gao Qi took out 6 exquisite card packs with the association logo from his pocket and threw them to the students. Inside are a 2-star storage card, a 2-star exploration card, and a 2-star student card. Jiang Zhao looked at the 3 brand new and special cards in his hand, feeling secretly surprised. These 3 types of mass-produced cards, without exception, are all artificial star soul cards. Scientists have developed artificial technology cards by studying the principle of star soul card condensation. Although true star soul cards cannot be replicated, they have created many highly practical artificial cards. As the name suggests, a storage card contains an independent storage space inside, which can be used to access items. The higher the star rating, the larger the storage space. The exploration card is a card used to explore information, backed by the massive database of the Star's Soul Master Association, which can identify and detect most of the information of evil objects, materials, and cards. The higher the star rating, the higher the information permissions that can be detected. Of course, cards like the Pleiades Official are not even available in the database, and even advanced exploration cards cannot be detected. As for the student card, it is similar to a student ID card, and the higher the star rating, the better the treatment enjoyed in the college. The students of the Sharp Knife class have a 2-star student ID at the beginning. Unlike storage cards and exploration cards, student cards can automatically upgrade as long as they complete the upgrade conditions and tasks in the card. It is said that only by upgrading to a 5-star student card can one meet the basic graduation requirements. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Divinity, Evolution. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Divinity, Evolution. Those who can be promoted to the 6-star student card are outstanding graduates. Graduates with a 7-star student card are already very rare. As for the 8 and 9 stars, they are legendary beings that only exist in the historical records of the Academy. Spiritual power was explored into the student card, and the upgrade requirements for the Samsung student card were clearly reflected in Jiang Zhao's mind. Central soul power has 5 levels, with a total soul power of no less than 7 levels. The level of the main star soul card should not be lower than 3 stars, own a set of no less than 8 card decks. Artificial cards are not included in the statistics, promotion task. After meeting the above requirements, independently kill an elite level external evil object, level not lower than level 3, the upgrade requirements are neither high nor low. The third option may be more expensive, but as long as his career as a card maker can get back on track as soon as possible, it won't be too difficult. The front of the student card is a school emblem pattern composed of stars, representing the Holy Land in the minds of star soul masters. Starry Academy. Everything that needs to be explained has been explained clearly. Dissolve. Gao Qi raised his hand and pointed to a nearby room. There are temporary dormitories prepared for you over there, and the conditions are the same. Choose one on your own. After speaking, he turned his head and called for 2 staff members to come over and start decomposing the body of the big black snake. Luo Changfeng and Lu Qiaoqiao stood still, watching the decomposition process of the big black snake. However, Zhang Yifan and Hu Dajuan eagerly approached Jiang Zhao and said, "You two are so powerful. Before officially enrolling, you killed a leader-level extraterrestrial evil creature. If it were to be spread, no one would dare to believe it." "Yeah, especially Zhang's life card, it's amazing." Hu Dajuan agreed. "Actually, it's just a matter of restraint." Jiang Zhao smiled lightly and waved his hand, glanced at Wang Yunyun, and chose the 2 dormitories in the middle that were adjacent to each other. Zhang Yifan and Hu Dajuan saw this and without hesitation chose 2 rooms next to them. The dormitory is not big, but it has all the necessary amenities and various living facilities. After a simple tidying up, transfer the contents of the backpack to the storage card. Walk around, go meet the senior card maker first. Wang Yunyun quickly packed up and appeared in front of Jiang Zhao's door. "Senior." Jiang Zhao was stunned. "Is it possible to be a real card maker?" Wang Yunyun sneered. "The card makers sent to the training camp every year are seniors from the college's card-making department, and helping them make cards is their graduation task." Jiang Zhao nodded suddenly and followed Wang Yunyun. Zhang Yifan and Hu Dajuan immediately followed up with great fanfare. "I don't know how skilled this senior in our camp is, how many stars can he make at the highest?" Zhang Yifan had some vague expectations. "I guess it's enough," Hu Dajuan sighed lightly. "Last year, our Jinzhou training camp had only 4 students. This year, there shouldn't be any outstanding card-making teachers or senior students sent over." "Almost enough, just 1 or 2 starting cards," Wang Yunyun said nonchalantly. "That's also right." On the other side, Luo Changfeng and Lu Qiaoqiao also rushed towards him. their eyes occasionally falling on Jiang Zhao, full of complexity. In the card printing room, an unkempt young man was scratching his ears and cheeks in front of the stargazing glass, occasionally flipping through the books and materials at hand, as if troubled by some kind of problem. After seeing everyone enter, he finally put down his research and said, "Chen Hao, a 4-star student from Starry Sky Academy and a student in the card-making department, I will be responsible for the card-making needs of all the younger students in the next month." "Hello, senior." Everyone greeted and briefly introduced themselves. "Only a 4-star student. Didn't you still be a 5-star student last year?" Luo Changfeng remains as outdated as ever, clearly dissatisfied. The atmosphere inside the card printing room suddenly cooled down. "Can you speak with some brain?" Wang Yunyun turned her head silently and glanced at Luo Changfeng. "You, a descendant of a prestigious family who will not stay in the association after graduation, have quite a few requirements." Luo Changfeng pouted in frustration, seemingly not feeling like he had said the wrong thing. "Fortunately, Chen Haoxue has a good temper. It seems that this junior is not very satisfied with me," Chen Hao chuckled indifferently. "It's okay, but please prepare more materials when this junior comes to me for card making." As soon as these words were spoken, everyone couldn't help but secretly chuckle. It's not good to offend anyone, but one must offend the card maker. Is it unclear whether to put small shoes on him? You are seeking revenge on public and private matters. Luo Changfeng's expression stiffened. "That's right, that's my temper," Chen Hao calmly admitted. "If you're not satisfied, you can sue the association." Chen Hao ignored Luo Changfeng and continued to introduce himself to everyone. "Let me explain to you my strengths in card making. I mainly focus on animal, plant, and food astrology, and my skills and equipment cards are also good." "Alright, let's go." After learning about Chen Hao's expertise in card making, everyone was amazed. After all, Chen Hao's card making direction is quite comprehensive. Although she doesn't have a mechanical department, Wang Yunyun is equally excited because she has always had little interest in mechanical cards. Coming out of the card printing room, everyone began to ponder the material collection plan for the next step. And Jiang Zhao and Wang Yunyun were called over by Gao Qi. "That black snake has already been decomposed. Let's pick a few materials that you can use." Beside Gao Qi, there was a neat list of materials decomposed from the body of the big black snake, including blood, snake meat, snake skin, snake bones, internal organs, snake eyes, teeth, and so on. It can be said without exaggeration that all the parts on the body of extraterrestrial evil creatures are high-quality star soul card materials. "I'm not interested in snakes, there's nothing I need, and I didn't put in much effort to kill this black snake," Wang Yunyun said with a lack of interest. "Where's Xiaojiang?" Jiang Zhao pondered and walked forward, selecting almost every material, leaving Gao Qi stunned. After finishing the task, he asked with confusion, "Do the leader-level evil creatures have divine materials?" "Yes, the snake eye is." Gao Qi smiled and said, "There is a special energy fluctuation in divine materials that can be easily distinguished, but the divine energy fluctuation of these two snake eyes can only be considered average." "Oh." Jiang Zhao nodded clearly and soon put away another snake eye. "Try to explore with the exploration card, and the information of snake eye quickly comes to mind. Black water snake eye level. Attribute. Water divinity. 17 water attribute material, just reserved as a promotion material for Chicken Lord and Scorpio." He just couldn't understand those 17 divine values. 17 points of divinity, if used for promotion of star soul cards, will it affect the divinity value of star soul cards? Jiang Zhao worried. "Don't worry, as long as it is a divine material, it can positively enhance the divinity of the star soul card," Wang Yunyun explained. "The meaning is that these 17 divine points can be added to the star soul card." Jiang Zhao was surprised. "It all depends on luck and the potential of the star soul card itself. If you're lucky, you can add 17 points of omnipotence, but if you're not lucky, there's nothing at all, explained Gao Qi. Additionally, the potential of the star soul card itself can also affect the absorption effect of divinity. Jiang Zhao couldn't help but frown and said, if I want to upgrade to Chicken Master, would it be better to get a more divine material? The Chicken Lord has already killed a 2.5-star extraterrestrial evil creature. Now the divine materials have also been obtained. Next, just collect another 2.5-star pure young attribute material to upgrade the Chicken Lord. Although it may not be possible to succeed at once, there is always a chance. Well, that's the truth, but it's not necessary, Gao Qi said helplessly. The promotion of Star Soul card is not 100% successful. Every time we use high divine materials, even if we have money, we can't afford it. Jiang Zhao nodded thoughtfully and continued to ask, by the way, Teacher Gao, what kind of existence is divine value and what is its use? There is currently no clear conclusion in academia regarding this issue, but what can be certain is that the higher the divine value, the better. Some star souls may even trigger the evolution of star souls when their divine value reaches a certain level. Evolution. That's right, if it's a card that doesn't have its own divinity, using divine materials to obtain divinity will directly lead to evolution. I saw Gao Qi pull out a tool card, which was activated and turned into a delicate and slender long sword. When I was promoted to 4 stars, my Xianfeng blade successfully gained divinity and became even stronger. You can use the exploration card to see. Jiang Zhao quickly used a probe card to investigate. Super Xianfeng blade type. Appliance card grade. Divinity. 21, end of this chapter. Chapter 10. Want to go home, right? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Want to go home, right? Good guy, the divine value can actually make the star soul evolve. Since that's the case, then he can't use the black water snake eye to promote the rooster and Scorpio. Both of these are his life cards, they are meant to accompany him to his final existence. Even if he is poor and sells iron, he must allocate the best resources in the future. I just don't know how much divine value the rooster and Scorpio need to reach in order to evolve. What will it look like after evolution? What is the divine value of divine materials considered high? Jiang Zhao's eyes flickered with excitement. Those below 20 points are considered poor, those between 20 and 30 points are considered average, and those above 30 points are considered high. Quality. What about those over 40 o'clock? I haven't heard of it, Gao Qi shook his head and smiled. It's rare to reach 35 or 36 o'clock, and even if you have money, you can't buy it. No one is willing to sell it. Jiang Zhao nodded thoughtfully, secretly making up his mind. Subsequently, Gao Qi converged the remaining materials and helped sell them. And Jiang Zhao and Ruan Yunyun returned to their respective dormitories. Luo Changfeng was stimulated by something, and seeing that it was getting late, he even had to ride a bloodthirsty bat out to hunt for materials. Upon seeing this, Lu Qiao also rode her eagle and flew away from the camp. I'm going, do you want to roll like this? Zhang Yifan could not help but walk out of the door and roast, I've been tired all day, can't I go tomorrow? Perhaps you were stimulated by Brother Jiang. Hu Dajun walked out of the dormitory door and sighed. In the dormitory, Jiang Zhaopan sat on the bed, observing and sensing the starry sky through a stargazing mirror. After this period of exploration, combined with the basic card-making knowledge found online, Jiang Zhao gradually gained a certain understanding of the production principles of other types of cards. As a card maker, he naturally wouldn't go to Chenhao to make cards. All the materials collected in the next month will be used to try card making. Even if you can't make a single card before the end of the training, you can still accumulate a lot of card making experience. Anyway, he still hides his second life card, Scorpio, which is already one more card than others. However, before that, he still had some questions to consult with Senior Chenhao. The dark and terrifying night within the black zone. Ruan Yunyun, who lives in the neighboring dormitory, has fallen asleep and is preparing for tomorrow. Music is still playing in Zhang Yifun's room. Jiang Zhao came to the card printing room and gently knocked on the door. "Hello senior, may I ask you some questions?" Jiang Zhao sincerely asked for advice. Jiang Zhao's junior, right? Chen Hao looked excited when he saw Jiang Zhao. "I was just thinking of taking some time to talk to you." "Find me?" "Yes. I have watched the video of you and Ruan Shueme killing the black water snake. Your life card is incredibly strong. Can I take a look at it?" Chen Hao was full of anticipation. Jiang Zhao smiled dumbfounded and immediately summoned the Chicken Lord. Chen Hao looked around the Chicken Master one after another, his mouth full of wonder and his eyes envious. "Can you tell me the astrological thought process of your life card?" "Don't worry, I won't take your things for nothing." Seeing Jiang Zhao remain silent, Chen Hao instantly understood. "Okay, it's my rudeness," Chen Hao awkwardly smiled. "So, is there anything Jiang Shuedi wants from me? I would like to consult with my senior about some card-making issues." Chen Hao widened his eyes in shock and couldn't help but look back at Jiang Zhao in front of him. "Junior, do you want to become a card maker?" "Yes. Card making is very difficult and expensive," Chen Hao reminded seriously. "Besides, just a stargazing mirror is not something you can afford now." Jiang Zhao took out his stargazing mirror from the storage card and said, "The stargazing mirror is already there." "Sleeping slot, Kirin 9000, is it a customized version?" Chen Hao was stunned on the spot, his expression looking at the stargazing mirror was like seeing his dream lover. "Brother, what kind of family is this?" "It's just an ordinary family." Chen Hao obviously didn't believe it, but he didn't delve into it. Excitedly, he rubbed his hands and said, "Otherwise, if you have anything you don't understand, you can ask me. You can also browse through the textbooks and materials I bring, but you have to lend me the Kirin 9000 to use." "Sure, when I go out to collect materials in the future, senior students can use them and don't damage them. Don't worry, the Kirin 9000 is definitely more precious than my life." Chen Hao's eyes turned red with excitement. Then, while experiencing the excellent performance of the Kirin 9000, I answered and guided Jiang Zhao's questions about card making. In the Starry City, within the Star Cloud Master Villa. In recent days, there have been batches of card seekers outside the villa, but none of them have been received by Master Xingyun. At this moment, he was still struggling to search for the location of the Pleiades. The vast expanse of stars, unable to find the trace of that unfamiliar celestial phenomenon. The more it was like this, the more curious Master Xingyun became, and the extraordinary figure of that divine object in his mind could never be erased. So, after experiencing some inner struggle, he gritted his teeth and dialed Ruan Zhongzheng's phone. "Secretary Ruan, do you know the kid who came with your daughter last time? Are you saying that Jiang Zhao child?" On the other end of the phone came Ruan Zhongzheng's puzzled voice. Yes, it seems like that's the name." Master Xingyun urgently said, "Could you please arrange for that child to meet with me and tell me that I am very interested in the astrology of his life card? It's easy to discuss the terms and conditions. This. I'm afraid not very good." "What do you mean?" "I still have to beg you, can't I?" Master Xingyun didn't say well. How dare the younger generation? "It's just that the child is currently training at the sharp knife class training camp. Can't it delay the child's studies? Have you entered the sharp knife class yet? Let's wait until the training is over before we talk." "Okay, I'll arrange it for you then." Ruan Zhongzheng suddenly changed his tone. "By the way, senior, I just received a video here. Would you like to take a look?" "No time," Master Xingyun pondered without hesitation. "It's a video about Jiang Zhao's life card. Are you sure you don't want to watch it?" "Is that right?" Master Xingyun said in a daze. you can take a look at it. A moment later, a video was sent over via Jushin. A short video of the battle shocked Master Nebula, leaving him stunned, his face flushed, and his breathing rapid. Then he took a deep breath and directly played a video with Wan Zhongzheng. The star's soul of that life card is definitely not easy. The younger generation is not blind. Tell me, what are the conditions for releasing someone? Master Xingyun went straight to the topic. It's impossible to let go, and besides, this child is already an internal member of our association. The children within the association. Is it real or fake? Master Xingyun expressed doubt. Wan Zhongzheng smiled mysteriously and said, otherwise, why do you think I've been staying in the bustling city? If you really want to further cooperate and communicate with this child, collide and come up with some inspiration or something, I think there is a good way. What method is it? In the video, Wan Zhongzheng grinned and said, come and teach at our college. Master Xingyun's forehead turned black, and he suddenly felt a sense of being calculated. You're really a genius living in the starry market, kid. Where you've always been nestled in the starry city, that's the true genius. Mr. Rong, consider carefully. Heizhou District, inside the training camp. A week passed by in a flash, and the students gradually adapted to the life inside the camp. Sometimes team up, sometimes act alone, collect various materials as much as possible, and use the free time to cultivate soul power. Only Jiang Zhao remained in the camp, consulting with Chen Hao about card-making knowledge, and never left the camp for half a step. And Luo Changfeng and others also gradually learned about Jiang Zhao's idea of becoming a card maker. After a week, Jiang Zhao finally gained a clear understanding of the principles behind making other types of cards. Next, it's time to collect various materials and personally try them out. However, it seems that Wan Yunyun happened to be out and not around. Is Jiang Zhao finally going out? Lu Qiao appeared deliberately. I happen to be planning to go hunting for materials too, why don't we go together? Next time, I want to experience it alone, Jiang Zhao politely declined. Coincidentally, Luo Changfeng happened to ride a bloodthirsty bat back over the campsite. Seeing Jiang Zhao about to set off, the dog couldn't help but mock him, hey, isn't this our future card maker? Are we finally going to hunt for materials? There's no way, I was born with this virtue, and I can't change it even if I want to. Especially after being stimulated by Jiang Zhao's killing of the leader-level evil object, his mentality has already been severely imbalanced. It seems that Luo is homesick. Jiang Zhao glanced at the bloodthirsty bat and directly pulled out the Pleiades star official from his waistcard bag, preparing to take him home to find his mother. If you have something to say, don't let the rooster master go. Luo Changfeng quickly put away the bloodthirsty bat and jumped onto the ground. If you have seeds, don't use the rooster master to fight me. Do you dare? Jiang Zhao rolled his eyes as he listened, too lazy to bother with this brainless person. It's embarrassing to say such things, and it's not embarrassing. Lu Qiao mocked and summoned the eagle to prepare to follow Jiang Zhao's departure. Although Jiang Zhao doesn't want to be with her, can she practice near him? Lu Qiao, are you looking for a fight? I can't beat Jiang Zhao, can't I beat you, a girl? As soon as Luo Changfeng finished speaking, he heard a cold rebuke coming from outside the camp. I've only been away for half a day now, and I'm starting to feel uneasy again, right? Teacher Gao. Seeing Gao Qi returning from his patrol, the three of them quickly greeted him in unison. I don't have much skill, but my temper is quite good, Gao Qi glared at Luo Changfeng. I'm far behind your brother. Luo Changfeng frowned and nodded with a dry smile. By the way, Xiao Jiang, I have helped you retrieve your special reward. Gao Qi turned to Jiang Zhao and said, where is Yunyun? Isn't she there? It seems like they teamed up with Zhang Yifan and went out, Jiang Zhao said. Upon hearing the words, special reward, Luo Changfeng and Lu Qiao cast curious glances. Then I'll give it to you first, Yun-Yun's share will be given to her when she comes back. Gao Qi chuckled and took out a delicate wooden card box. TSK, this thing even makes me envious. Take good care of it. End of this chapter.